Hello and welcome to Defend Stirling Castle. My name's Daniel, I'm an engineer, and I'm interested in all things tech and security. You're joining me and Craig for this very special cyber skills live lesson celebrating Scottish connections worldwide. Today, you're going to get a history lesson, but you're also going to learn cybersecurity skills in our interactive game. That's right, and today we're coming to you from the gardens of Stirling Castle. Thank you for joining us. Now, Scotland has a history of forming international alliances, and our alliance today is made up of all of you. Daniel, we've got people joining from around the world today. People taking part from Texas, Georgia, Nebraska, Indiana, New Hampshire. And Craig, we've got people joining from other places in the world too. We've got people joining us from Ireland, Zimbabwe, New Zealand, and South Africa. Craig, that's a big alliance. Brilliant. So you're going to have to play alongside us today in Scotland to protect this iconic Scottish landmark. So we're also lucky to have Kirsten, who's a learning officer here at Stirling Castle, and she's going to be on hand to answer some of your questions. Hi, Kirsten.
Hello and welcome to Stirling Castle. So what has cybersecurity to do with the castle? Well, in the past, people inside the castle had to be protected. So in this castle, it would be the kings and queens of Scotland, and in other castles, the lords and ladies. But also their possessions had to be protected. And the most important possessions in Scotland in the past were the honours of Scotland, now known as the crown jewels of Scotland, which are now housed in Edinburgh Castle. Nowadays, we don't just have to think about the physical security of the castle. We actually have a cybersecurity team within Historic Environment Scotland who look after our computers and all our huge archives of historical data. So do you think you can defend Scotland's heritage? Good luck. Over to you, Craig and Daniel.
What do you think of when you think about Scotland? Scotland's heritage is world famous, with millions of people visiting castles and monuments each year. And it's vitally important that we preserve these for generations to come. Now, Scotland is a fantastic country to visit, but you can also work and study here. Our colleges and our universities are among the oldest and the best in the world. And they teach everything from stonemasonry all the way through to cybersecurity. If you're passionate about history, you could learn and study or work in conservation science or climate change, survey, recording, or digital documentation. Or if you're into technology, you can study computing science or learn about artificial intelligence or even study to be a game developer. How cool would that be? Plus, Scotland isn't just about work. It's got beautiful scenery, it's got exciting cities, and it's got really friendly people as well. It is a great place to live and work. And yeah, you can even work somewhere like here. So today, you're going to find out what it's like to defend Scotland's castles from a cyber attack. You're going to learn about these medieval defences, and you're also going to learn about modern cybersecurity practices. Now, we've been delighted to be given a grant award today that allows us to do this, and it's part of the Scottish Connections Fund, and that allows us to play this interactive game with you today. Now, our game is based on a real-life cyber job, that of a cybersecurity architect. So they are the people who decide what defences to put in place and where. Oh, here we go, Craig. We better get to our cyber stations. It's time to defend Stirling Castle. Stirling Castle. What a place to defend. So to play with us today, you need to head to menti.com up there and enter the code on your screen. Craig, are your security systems ready and online? You ready to go?
Yeah, systems online. I'm ready, Daniel. If you're on social media, your teachers can post a message using the hashtag Scottish Connections, and you can tag us at DigiSkillsEd. You'll see it at the bottom of the screen, just below me. We love to see people playing along with us. Now, Daniel, this morning we have people taking part from all over the world, clans from around the world as well. We asked you to tell us some of your clans. So I know that these prestigious clans are taking part, Daniel. The Sigma clan, the Bloodline, Clan Chickens, the Riddle clan, and Clan Slay Queen are all joining us today
Well,
and more.
welcome to all of your clans. We also asked you to tell us about your skills with a longsword. So I can see Ruben at King's Barnes Primary School, pretty skilled, good enough, I think, for me. Freya, who's at Core Glen, is ready to defend and is great with a sword. Love the confidence. And Abby at Wollaston Primary is swinging the sword everywhere. Maybe needs a wee bit of practice. So we have our international team. You are all our security operations team. And in fact, in particular, the team that we are all part of, all of you, all hundreds of you, we are part of the network security team today. So we're going to have to put in some cyber defenses that are going to keep the castle's computer systems safe from a cyber attack. So we're going to be asking you questions about castle security, and we're also going to see how they relate to modern cybersecurity practice too.
Yeah, so let's talk about location first. So, my first question is about why is Stirling Castle's location good? Now, the first thing we need to think about is the building where we would be putting our computer systems. Now, these machines are critical infrastructure and their location needs to be chosen carefully. And choosing a location with security in mind is nothing new. The original builders of Stirling Castle had to think about this too. Look at this photo, Daniel, of Stirling Castle. You can see Stirling Castle is built high up on a crag and tail. Now, on Menti, I want you to give us a reason why you think this location is good for defending a castle from invaders. So you're going to send us in your answers. If you include your name and your clan or your school that you're part of, then maybe we'll read out some of your answers as well.
So let's bring in Kirsten. Kirsten is our learning officer at Historic Environment Scotland. Kirsten works at Stirling Castle. Here we go. Kirsten, I've established a secure connection. You're ready to go?
Hi, Craig. Hi, Daniel. Hi, everyone's taking part.
So, Kirsten, you're going to be keeping us all right when it comes to castle security. So, our security team, they are all suggesting lots of reasons already why Stirling Castle's clifftop location is going to be good for defending that castle. So, Craig, I can see we've got hundreds of answers coming in
Yeah.
already.
So we'll maybe give some of these suggestions and then let's ask Kirsten what she thinks as well. So Olivia has suggested because it's on a hill, makes it hard to get to. That could be good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm having a look to see what other people are saying. Asan has also said it's up on a hill. That makes it harder to reach as well.
I can see here Otto, who's at Ellen Academy, saying it's high ground, so it's difficult to access.
Yeah, and someone else says that you can see the oncoming invaders as well. So it's got a clear sight on all coming enemies as well. Thanks for that, Marna, as well.
I can see a lot of people mentioning the trees and the woods as well. Now, I'm not sure if that would be a good thing or not if you're defending the castle, because I wonder if that would let people sneak up. But then maybe
Yeah.
you could hide in the woods as
Mhm.
well to try and surprise people who were oncoming.
We'll get some more answers from people in a second, but Kirsten, tell me a bit about where Stirling Castle was built. Why does its location make it more secure?
Yeah, so really the pupils have got most of the answers there. So Stirling Castle sits on a volcanic plug. So millions of years ago, the volcano erupts, the lava then hardens when it cools down to the rock formation that the castle stands on today. So absolutely, you can see for miles around. So that gives them plenty of time in the castle to get ready and get all the defences up, ready for the attacking army. It's hard to get up there for the people attacking. And you can imagine the soldiers, particularly the knights, wearing all that heavy plate armour and chainmail. So they're going to get up a hill wearing all that heavy plate armour and chainmail. So yeah, I think people's got most of them there.
Yeah, I can imagine as well. And a lot of them, those sheer rock
Well,
faces down the side, so difficult to climb as well. And a few people
absolutely.
mentioned that. Did anything else come in, Daniel? I think a lot of people are getting the right answers here.
Yeah, a lot of people talking about the high ground.
Hmm.
Um, I can see here there's some pupils that are saying that Mike is saying you can it's uphill. People have to go uphill when they're attacking. It's going to tire them out.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think that's a good
having
suggestion.
having walked up the hill to the castle, I can say the same.
Yeah, there's a few people talking
Without,
about being out of breath getting up there.
Fantastic. So, Daniel, does it matter location when it comes to the cybersecurity of a building?
Yeah, so does that location matter? Well, modern cybersecurity architects also have to think carefully about where they put their computer systems and their networks. We are holding digital copies of important historical records, and these are stored out with the castle in data centers. So, what I'd like to know is which of these data centers would you choose to keep our records safe? Which building do you think is going to protect our data the best? So you can vote A, which is the one on the left side of the screen, or B, which is the glass one on the right hand side.
So these are two buildings, Daniel, that are real buildings in Scotland. The one on the left is near the outskirts of Edinburgh, and the one on the right is just in the city centre of Glasgow. So these are two real buildings, but which one? So, knowing what we know about castle security, which one of these do you think might be better as well? Should we give people a second or two, Daniel, to answer
Yeah,
that?
let's give people 10 seconds, so get your answers in now. And then we're going to reveal the answer. Okay. Craig, shall we bring up the answer?
Go
See what
for
people are
it.
suggesting? Okay, here we go.
So it looks like most of you are saying red, which would be A. So
A.
the one on the left hand side, Daniel.
Yeah,
How does
and
that sound to you?
I think that's a good suggestion there. Because if we think about it, we want to keep people away from these computer systems. And I can see A has a big fence, something that'd be difficult to climb over. I can also see there's lots of security cameras, so you would see people that are approaching the building. And also, I think the fact that it's kind of in the middle of nowhere means that you would definitely notice someone getting close before they got there.
Sneaking up on you.
Exactly. Whereas in the centre of Glasgow, there's people walking past all the time.
Yeah.
Whereas that's not
No,
going to happen in A.
look at those big glass windows on the one in Glasgow as well, Daniel. You can kind of see what's going on in that office. Whereas the one on the left hand side, which is a real data centre outside of Edinburgh, the windows are quite narrow as well. You can't quite get a view in, and the barriers to let people in. So, whether it's a medieval fortress, a castle, or a modern data centre, location can make all the difference then when we're staying safe from intruders.
Yes, definitely. So let's have a think about securing our computer network. So we need to control who gets into our network, and we have to make it hard for these criminals that want to hack into it. Now, castles, they have a similar problem. They only want to let certain people in, and they want to make it very hard for others to gain entry. So let's bring Kirsten back onto the stream. So, Kirsten, how do castles control who gets into them?
Yeah, so castles built on hills only have one way in and out of the castle. So you've got to actually get across a bridge, which is over a dry ditch, and then you have to get through the gatehouse. So at the gatehouse, you have loads of soldiers, guards defending the castle, but also you'd have a number of gatehouses. So you'd have to get through about 2 or 3 of those to actually get into the heart of the castle.
Yeah, so we want to know then, if you were a gatehouse guard, how might you decide who to let in? So I want you to put your security thinking heads on. So, what security systems would you put in place? You can send us your answers. Now, you need to actually think about your answer. Think about what security system, like how would you check if someone's coming up, whether you're going to let them in or not? And tell us in the Mentimeter. We'll maybe answer some of these as well.
Yeah, so imagine that you are working in this big gatehouse that you can see on your screen just now, and you've got visitors passing through those archways. How are
Mhm.
you going to decide who to let through into the castle beyond the gatehouse? What are you going to do?
Oh, one suggestion here, Daniel, is that you would have some sort of fingerprint reader. So maybe you could identify who it was that came up to the castle. They probably didn't have that at the time, but certainly in a modern castle, you might have something like that. I can also see key cards as well, Daniel, as another form of deciding who's to get in, and you get that in a lot of modern buildings as well. You've got to wear your key card around your neck, maybe tap in and out the buildings.
Yes, yes. I can see some good suggestions that don't have people's names or their skills on them. There's some people talking about like you could check people's like ID. I think that's a good suggestion.
Mm-hmm.
I'm having a look here. There's a lot of people, Daniel. There's clearly a lot of people who are wanting shout outs, but they're not giving us any answers. So we need to get some answers to these so that we can find out. So, oh yeah. So Rohan from Dame Allen's school says ask for ID if someone unrecognized comes in and then check it against your database to see if you would let them in. That's a great answer, Rohan.
Yeah, I can see a lot of people who are suggesting sort of modern things. There's this is an interesting one here. That's come in. You could have a code word alongside your ID.
Ah,
So not only you need
mhm.
the ID, but you also need like a secret word that you have to actually say verbally.
That's interesting. So Kirsten, how would have guards checked people at the gate? What sort of security procedures would they've had in place?
Yeah, so in the past they would have, well, they would know who is going to be coming in. So they would know a list of people that were going to be coming to the castle that day. And then obviously they would check them for any weapons as they're coming through as well. But you had lots of patrolling stewards when you get through the castle. But yeah, you'd have to be known to be coming in. So they would have a list, definitely.
So, what can we
Yeah.
learn from that, Daniel, then, in terms of cybersecurity?
Yeah, so in computer security systems, to keep intruders out, we use identity and access management. So that's a really fancy way of saying we give everyone a unique username and a password. And the current best way to choose a password is to combine 3 random words. That's the advice from the National Cybersecurity Centre. But there's another way that we can control access to our devices and our phones, our accounts online. We could use something that's unique to us. We could use something like our fingerprints or our faces or even the pattern in the irises of our eyes. Now, Craig, I'd like to know what that kind of access control is called. So you've got a question on Mentimeter. What do we
So,
call this kind of security?
what is the name of this type of security that's something like a fingerprint check? So, I've got a few options for you. So, is it a captcha? Is it an imperial guard? Is it a biometric? Or is it token based? Get your answers in now. So, what type of security is something like a fingerprint check? Is it captcha, imperial guard, biometric, or token based?
Okay, Craig, I can see the answers are flooding in. We're going to give you 10 more seconds to get those answers locked in. This is exciting because we can't see what you've picked until we hit the reveal button.
Okay, I've turned off answers for now. Are you
Okay,
ready for the result?
yes, go for it, Craig. What kind of security are things like a fingerprint check? Oh,
So it looks like, oh, biometric, Daniel, seems to be the most popular answer. And that
yes.
is the correct answer. So well done. Biometrics, so things like fingerprints, eye scanning, face scanning. What's biometrics? What's that kind of short for, Daniel? What does it mean?
Yes. So it's short for biological and metrics like a measurement. So it's a measurement of something on your body. So with your fingerprint, it's looking at how far away these little dimples and pits and crests are on your finger. Same with an iris, it's taking some kind of measurement. Face ID, it measures the distance between your eyes, your nose, and your mouth, and what size they are and where they are relative to one another. And that's something that's pretty unique to each and every one of us.
Okay, so that's one layer then of security sorted. So authentication, but that's not enough, Daniel. Security architects need to design their systems using a defense in depth approach. Basically, all that means is having multiple layers of security. So if someone gets past one layer, there'll be another layer to overcome. So, Kirsten, I've got a question for you. In terms of securing a castle like Stirling Castle, what is the next layer of security? Has anyone ever tried to sneak past a guard and then what would happen?
There probably are stories of people trying to get in. In fact, there is one at Linlithgow Castle where they brought a cart up with supplies for the castle, and they actually deliberately stopped the cart underneath the portcullis, which is a metal gate that goes up and down, and that meant that the gate couldn't shut down completely, which meant that the attacking enemy could actually run through into the castle. But usually at a gatehouse, you have what are known as murder holes. So it's holes on the top of the archway going into the castle, and the soldiers inside the castle will actually chuck things through those holes. So it could be hot oil, it could be rotting meat, it could be anything. It could be spears, it could be arrows. They'll be shooting down on anyone that manages to get through the first entrance of the castle.
Wow. Well, as our security team, we've got a question for you. We want to know, if you were protecting the castle, what would you drop down a murder hole? Tell us your item, tell us the name of your group or your clan, and yeah, we'll have a look at some of these ideas, Daniel, in a second.
Yes, what would you like to drop on an unwelcome intruder?
Someone suggesting an anvil, very Looney
Oh, yeah.
Tunes. Yeah, that could work. Elsa from Gore Glen. In fact, I think Gore Glen, I don't know if they're trying to drop Elsa. I'm not sure what if that's from the character Elsa. Hungry Lions. That sounds more like a Colosseum thing than a castle, maybe.
Do you know what's quite popular, Craig?
What?
Food. A lot of people are saying food.
Interesting.
So yeah, feed the intruders. Yeah.
Annie from the Cathedral School is also suggesting dropping stones as well. So thanks for taking part.
Ellis at King's Barnes is suggesting a hot beverage.
Yeah, that would be sore. Daniel from Ellen Academy suggesting some uranium. Interesting. All very violent things that we're dropping here.
Craig, there's quite a good suggestion here from David at the Cathedral School in Cardiff. David's suggesting a slippy substance so they fall over.
That's a good idea. Okay, last chance to get some of your recommendations. Oh, Cameron has suggested some rotten eggs. That would be disgusting as well. Okay, I think our security team have some good ideas there, Daniel. But what about, so this is how you might stop an intruder in a real castle. How would you stop a digital intruder then? How could you spot things like suspicious activity?
Yeah, so computer networks, they can do something similar. So what you can do with a computer network is you don't have to pour hot oil over the router. What you can do is you can use something called an intrusion detection system. And what that does is it looks at data as it enters and exits the network. And anything that's a bit suspicious, those packets, they get blocked and they don't make it any further into that computer system. So what I've got here is I have got a list of packets going in and out of a secure computer network. Now, one of these packets got blocked by the intrusion detection system. And I want to know, where did this packet come from? I want to know the origin IP address. So you're going to have to look at the table and add in your name.
Make sure you add your name, your class or your school, and tell us the origin IP address. So let's see how many of you can send us the right one. I've got some starting to come in, but not all of them are right, Daniel. So we need to get to a consensus.
Yes.
Okay, so I think someone has suggested one of the IP addresses, but they haven't put their name or their school. Let's see. Thank you, Cat Clan, for sending in some evidence, some suggestions.
Yes,
Jaden,
definitely
I've got yours.
some answers from DB Cat Clan, and a lot of them are corroborating. They're giving the same answer, which is giving me some hope.
Georgia, thank you for sending in your suggestion. And Logan as well.
Yep, Benjamin at Murpeth. Yes, thank you.
Again, from the Cathedral School, we've got, I think a lot of them are starting to come in the same sort of numbers here, Daniel.
Yeah. Utah at Scunthorpe. Yes, I think there's one IP address, Craig, that keeps getting mentioned over and over again.
Reese and Sakib, you've both got the right ones as well there. Yeah, I think this is looking really good, Daniel. So the consensus tends to be, let me just check. Okay, so I'm going to go for what I think is coming up as the most common one. So this has also just been sent in from Josh as well and Jaden. Josh and Jaden. So 118.66.132.185.
Yes. Now I'm looking at the table, Craig. That's ID 30. And like if we work our way across there, yes, Craig, that packet was blocked. That was the suspicious packet that the intrusion detection system spotted. So well done to all of you who managed to read that IP address.
That's really good that the intrusion detection system then was looking out for something suspicious. And what does it do when it actually finds one of those suspicious packets? I guess it doesn't drop an anvil on them.
No, it just makes it basically it's called it drops the packet. But by dropping the packet, basically it stops it. And then that IP address, it can't send anymore. They are then blocked from sending anything in future.
So that's another layer added to our network security. So we've got access control, we've got the intrusion detection system to spot suspicious behavior. I wonder if there's
Yeah.
something else that we could add.
Yeah, what else
How
could we add,
about
Craig?
yeah, how about like a trap for anyone who managed to get in? So
Ooh.
traps have been around for a long time. Let's bring back Kirsten.
Okay,
Kirsten,
welcome
did
back.
Scottish castles have any traps or tricks to catch attackers?
Yeah, there's a few things that they would do. So, for example, doorways in castles tended to be smaller, lower, so that anyone that got inside the castle trying to attack had to bend their head down to go through the door, which meant the people inside were ready to attack them back. So that was one thing. Another thing is spiral staircases. So that's staircase
Here's
that go
the
round,
door
round,
you're
round.
talking about, Kirsten.
Yeah. Oh,
Here's
yes, there is there. Yes, and you can see from the that image there, the windows, it's quite small compared to even the size of the window in that image. But spiral staircases, they had trip steps on spiral staircases. So that's a step that is slightly deeper than the other steps. So anyone that's attacking, going up the stairs, will trip when they're going up. So obviously they're going to fall over, and then that's them. And spiral staircases they were built so they went clockwise, so that the people defending the castle, most soldiers were right-handed, so they had the advantage because they're right-handed to use their sword. So there's lots of other things as well.
I've been on one of those trip steps recently, and yeah, you can see it on that well with it.
Craig, have you recovered from your fall yet? It's very
So
dramatic.
that's actually in the Great Hall of Stirling Castle, Kirsten.
That's correct. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
And what I can see is I've kind of painted it white.
Painted it white so that staff don't trip.
It
That's
must work
brilliant.
then.
Yeah.
So how could this be related? What could we learn from that, Daniel, and apply to cybersecurity?
Yeah, so computer security architects, they can lay their own traps. So what we're going to do, we can create a decoy network that's going to lure cyber criminals away from the more valuable computer systems. And these decoy networks, well, they're a great way to distract cyber criminals. So a question for you, what do you think we call these kinds of traps? So if you're not sure, you can take a guess, but go on to Menti. What do we call these decoy network traps that are really distracting and appealing to the cyber criminals?
So your options are honeypots, glue boards, false flags, or fishing baits. I can see already over 400 of you have sent in an answer. So you're obviously confident, but we'll give it a few more minutes. Not a few more minutes, a few more seconds, Daniel. We don't have time for that. Let's give it 10 more seconds.
Okay, Craig.
Okay, Daniel, shall we see the results?
Yes, let's have a look.
This is what you told us. So it looks like honeypots is the most selected answer, and then fishing baits, glue boards, and false flags. So honeypots, Daniel, is that the right answer?
Yes, it is, Craig.
Oh,
So well
brilliant.
done, everyone. They are honeypots. They're not glue boards, they're not false flags, and they're not fishing baits. So, Craig,
So,
these
yeah,
honeypots, they are usually the
they're like
closest
a decoy
servers.
or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're a decoy trap.
So you've set up this honeypot so that you kind of distract the people who are attacking your network. They're usually on the closest servers to the internet. So any attacker would spot that and probably investigate it first. And if you're smart, you would probably name it something that looks interesting, like financial records in here. So while the cyber criminal is looking around the honeypot, the security team are then alerted to the attack.
Yes, that's right. Now, Craig, I've set up a honeypot on our network. So I'm going to show you the network security diagram. This is what we use to plan the layout of a physical computer system. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to identify the honeypot. I want you to tell us the name of the honeypot on our network. Now, remember, look for the name of the honeypot. And if you tell us your name and your school, you might get a shout out.
Some people are starting to send in their suggestions and their answers, but look at it closely. I'm watching all these answers come in now, some good answers.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you to Yao Tao from the DB Cat clan. You sent in a suggestion here. And Craig from Dame Allen's has also given us a good suggestion here.
Yep.
Ailey as well.
Farouz at Mearns Primary, yes. Aiden at Stenhouse Muir, yep. There's one answer that's coming up over and over again here, Craig.
So the answer that's coming through, Daniel, very clear from our cybersecurity team here, is unicorn underscore 001. That's the answer that keeps coming in.
Yeah, and that's right, Craig. So if we look at this network diagram, on the left-hand side, we have the internet. And then as we move across, we've got the outer bailey firewall. So the outer bailey is like the outer wall. That's the first place where you find a gatehouse. And then we've got this, what we call the demilitarized zone, the DMZ, which is an area where we do a bit more inspection. It's where we maybe put some of the less precious servers. And in there, we've got the web server, so the thing that the people on the internet can access. But we've also got this unicorn honeypot there. So the idea is anyone who gets through the outer bailey firewall, they'll spot unicorn 001 and they'll be like, oh, let's investigate that, rather than trying to get further into the network. And while they're looking at unicorn 001, alarms are going off, we can investigate, we can stop them, and keep the inner network, the internal network, where all the clients and the archive servers are, we'll keep that nice and safe.
Wow, there really is a lot we can learn from security of castles and apply that to cybersecurity. I can see how decoy networks, honeypots would be really useful. Daniel, we're so lucky to be having a team of hundreds and hundreds of people taking part with us this morning, helping us defend this castle. I feel like we've done everything right. The
Yeah.
location, yeah, the location is perfect. The defenses are up. Authentication, check. Intrusion detection, check. Decoys, ready and waiting. What could possibly go wrong?
Okay, all right, everyone. We have a critical situation on our hands. Our systems have detected a ransomware attack that is targeting the castle's defense systems. Craig, this isn't a drill.
Ransomware, Daniel. Daniel, the ransomware is trying to lock us out of our own computer systems. Think of the chaos that could cause. Clans, you are our last line of cyber defense. Okay, Daniel, I'm looking at this on my screen just now. I can see the ransomware is starting to take hold. Here's what we need to do. The decryption key to stop the ransomware is a combination of 3 words. And all 3 words, they're not random, they're related to Scotland's heritage. But unfortunately, Daniel, the words have been encoded into a base 64 format. So you'll need to decode them.
Yes, you are going to have to use a tool to decode these. So we've given you links to 2 tools, CyberChef and Rapid Tables. Now, CyberChef is a real utility that is used by cybersecurity experts. And I've already put that list of 15 encoded words on the screen for you now.
So you're going to use CyberChef to try and decode this, Daniel?
Yes, so you need to follow the link to CyberChef, and you're going to have to decode in some of these words. So I'm just very quickly going to jump onto CyberChef to show you what it looks like. So this is what CyberChef looks like. Here we go. And on our interface, there's a space that says input. In this input, that is where you're going to type in these code words that are all scrambled up. And hopefully we'll get a sensible word below in the output. So make sure...
Do you want me to give you the first one for you, Daniel?
Yeah, okay, Craig.
Okay, you bring it up and I'll bring it up for a second till I take a picture so that I get the right number for you.
Yes, there we go.
Okay, Daniel, do you want to try the first one?
Yes, please.
Okay, capital T.
Capital T.
Lowercase k.
Yes.
Capitals VUV.
VUV.
0.
0.
9.
9.
Capital SS.
SS.
Lowercase w.
Okay, Craig, I can see in the output that works out as network.
Okay, so that's a word, but I don't think that's a Scottish word. That's not related to Scotland's heritage, so that's not the one that we're looking for. So this is your chance. We've only got a few minutes before the ransomware takes hold. Daniel, bring up those words.
And just before I bring them back up, I'm going to show you the other tool. So in case CyberChef is blocked on yours, you can try the other one, Rapid Tables. And instead what you do is you put it in the box at the top, and then you hit decode, and then you'll see the word below. Hopefully you've got that. But let's bring back up our code words, Craig. So as soon as you find one that you think is related to Scotland's heritage, you need to send it to us through Mentimeter. Tell us your name, tell us your group. We're going to have to be quick. We've only got a few minutes, Craig. We've got, 5 minutes to find all of these? It's a lot of decoding to do.
Okay, so let's give people a few moments to do that. I'm just trying to get in there now, Daniel.
Great. Now, if you can't get onto either of these 2 tools, these are in a format called Base 64. So maybe your teachers could look up other websites that will translate Base 64 and decode Base 64. So we've given you 2 examples of tools. I realize that they're blocked on some of your schools. I can see a lot of you have managed to get on, which is great. But if you are having issues, have a look for other Base 64 decoders.
Yeah, you're a cyber team. You know how to find these things. So I can see some people. I can
Oh,
see one,
Craig, do you know
Daniel.
what? I think there's one here from the Goblins clan.
Okay.
There's a word that it's definitely got something to do with Scotland. Craig, it is tartan.
Okay,
Should we
that
try
sounds like a
tartan?
Scottish
Yeah,
word. Try
yeah. So
that.
this is from the
Try
Goblin
that.
clan, right? Let's try tartan. So let me type that in. Okay. Okay.
Okay, that's the first word. So we've only got two. That's one down, two to go. Don't slow down now. Keep some of those guesses coming in.
Yes, keep looking for more words. See if you can find any that have a theme to do with Scotland and heritage.
I can see more coming in, Daniel. People are trying them out. Yes, Daniel, there's lots of good answers coming in here.
Yes, I can see lots. Great here.
Lewis as well had also found tartan as well.
I'm seeing a lot of people saying tartan. Now, we've found tartan. We need to find two more. Oh, here we go. Right. I think we might have another word here, Craig.
Okay.
It is dreich, right? And this is one that's come in from Ellen Academy. It is
Dreich.
the dreich, yeah. It's the clan
It's a
is
Gaelic word.
yeah, yeah. So shall we have a look and see?
Okay,
Let's,
try typing that in.
let's try it. Let me type that in 1 second. Here we go. Okay. Yes.
That worked, Daniel. Okay, one more to go. So far we've got tartan and dreich. Right, we've got one more to find. Tell us if you found it. Send that message to us. We need to get one more to go.
Yes, keep trying these out. There's 15 to try. There's got to be another one in there.
No, there's got to be one.
There has to
We
be.
can get this before the ransomware takes hold. I think Vega suggesting bagpipes. Is that just a guess or is that one of the words?
Let's see.
That's just a guess.
Bagpipes.
Try that, Daniel.
Oh, okay, Craig. It's too long. It doesn't. There's not enough character spaces.
Right, okay.
It can't be bagpipes.
Oh my gosh, we're getting a lot of. I think I can see. Oh, there's so many coming in now, Daniel. Sonny Shung has sent in some. Charlie Bailey as well. Kosha. This is what's the benefit of having such a big team, Daniel, from
Yeah.
around the world.
Yeah. There's another word that I'm seeing a few times. Especially from the Slay Queen clan. I think they might have come across one. Because
Okay.
we can't make too many attempts. We can't get it wrong too many times. I just want to double check, get a few more people saying the same thing first.
We're getting loads of answers here. Okay, I think a lot of people are coming in with the same answer.
Kushia and also from Kenzie and Haddington, Hoyk. Okay, we're getting Cathedral School as well as also coming in with this suggestion, right, Craig? The last one that people are telling us.
Yeah, the word I'm seeing, Daniel, thistle.
Thistle.
Try that.
Okay, okay, right. Hopefully this'll do.
Brilliant. Does that mean it's worked?
Yes. Okay, let's just see. Okay, so let me just try the final decryption key and let's see if it accepts it. Yes. So brilliant, everyone. The system has been decrypted. So thanks to your skills, we have managed to find that decryption key and stop the ransomware dead in its tracks.
Fantastic. You did it. You defended Stirling Castle from a cyber attack. Now, we learned about all different types of layers of cybersecurity. So, we learned about the importance of choosing a secure location. We spoke about access control. We explored intrusion detection systems. And then things like honeypots and decoys. And not only that, you stopped the criminals from unleashing ransomware across the whole network. Fantastic work.
Yes, very well done, everyone. Now, we have one final task. We would like you to give us your feedback. So on Mentimeter, you'll see a few questions popping up. Spend a minute or two answering those just now. But let's bring back Kirsten, who has been a great help today. Thank you for your time, Kirsten. It's been great having you answering our questions about the history of the castle and how it was secured.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me. And yeah, been great fun.
Thank you to the Scottish Connections Fund for supporting this live lesson. If you've been inspired by today's game, I hope you'll come to Scotland to visit Stirling Castle, maybe even choose to study or work here. You can play all our games on our website, cyberskillslive.com. We've got more cybersecurity lessons. You can even play a version of this game on it without having to do it live. But we've also got other lessons about data science, artificial intelligence, and coding.
Now, we've been coming to you today via YouTube. There are dozens of your schools watching. So why not get your teacher to like the video and subscribe to our channel?
Tell your teacher to go over to the computer now and like this video and subscribe for more videos like this.
Yeah, smash that like button. Okay, we are running out of time. We have a minute left. I want to make sure we get the credits through, Craig. So for now, it's bye from Kirsten. It's bye from
everybody.
Craig.
Bye-bye, everyone.
And it's bye from me as well. See you next time.